Okay,
All
cool. So,
right.
welcome everyone to CryptoSafu. And tonight, what we're going to be doing is hands-on. Our topic for today is hands-on practical, and the main topic is going to be under understanding candlestick anatomy and candlestick pattern in a better way. So, our coach for tonight is going to be Crypto Kaba. Crypto Kaba, now you have the mic, please. Welcome everyone. Emily, Imex, Montana, David, Nifel, I mean. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to CryptoSafu. So yeah, let's enjoy the topic we're about to learn tonight. Thank you so much. Crypto Kaba, you have the mic.
All right. So, welcome to today's session, everybody. It's going to be an amazing one. So, quickly, yep. All right. Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can hear you, yes. Yeah, we are good.
Let's go. Safu OGs. All right, so let's wait for Crypto Kaba to set up the screen for us. And yeah, I believe all of us are here and we're about to learn something different tonight.
So, welcome everybody once again to this session. So, quickly, as we already know what we'll be discussing about, we'll be talking about the candlestick anatomy and some candlestick patterns. We already discussed a bit on candlestick anatomy, but to wrap it up today, I want everybody to pay close attention as you would be able to to understand how the candlesticks are formed and how they work. So quickly, first things first, what is candlestick? A candlestick is actually just a presentation of price movements in the financial markets. Now, quickly, when we talk about candlesticks, everything we see actually here, all the representation of price we actually have here on this red and green, we are actually seeing this is actually what candlestick representation of price. We have different way of representing price. I can decide to change my uh chart type to lines. I can decide to change it to high and lows and different things. But the better way of representing price is just with what candlesticks. Now, what are candlesticks? As I said, I say candlesticks are just what graphical representation of what price movements in the financial markets. And now this price movements in the financial markets, it's used in what in technical analysis to analyze what future price movements. Now, how do these candlesticks forms? How do these candlesticks forms? That is where we have what the components of candlesticks. Components of candlesticks. Components of candlesticks. Now, when we are talking about the components of candlesticks, we are just talking about what the candlestick entails. This particular candlestick that we are seeing here, this particular candlestick, this green, red, whatsoever thing we are seeing on my screen now, is actually the candlesticks. And now, what does the candlestick entails? That is when we'll be talking about what the components. Now we have two components of the candlesticks, which is what the body and the wick. We have the body and the wick. the body and what's the wick. Now, when we are talking about the body of the candlestick, how does the body of the candlestick form? The body of the candlestick represents what the price range between the opening and the closing price of what of a particular candle during a specific period. Now, quickly, when we have two types of candles. We have the bullish candle and we have the bearish candle. Now, quickly, when we are talking about the bullish candle, we are talking about what? The green candle. I'm coming. We are talking about what? The green candle. The green candle is actually the bullish candle, and the green candle represents when price is what is in an upward movement. Price is what's pumping. Now, when we are talking about the body of the candle, this is what we call the body of the candle. This full box I drew on my screen is called what? The full box. And now the full box that we are seeing here is representing the full body of the candle. And now how does how can we represent or identify this bullish candle? The bullish candle is said to what? To open from where? To open from the bottom towards to the top. When this candle starts forming, it starts forming from where? The down, which is what we call the down, this down part. This down part, we call it what? The opening. We call this the opening. We call it the opening, and the upper part, we call it what? The closing. Right? We call it what? The closing. Now, I'll quickly show you example why it's called the opening and the closing part of the candle. Now, when this green candle, let me open my screen for us to see. Now, this particular candle, I'll point on it now so everybody will be seeing. This green candle here that you can see after this red candle, this green candle here, where does it start forming from? It starts forming from the down part. This down part with this blue dot, it starts forming from the down part and it's finished forming at what? The upper part. That is how it's formed. Now, take a look at this other green candle here that I'm pointing at. This one that has this blue dot on it. You see that it starts forming from where? This down part to what? To the up part. Now, the down part is called what? The opening, while the up part is called what? The closing. Now, after this candle finish forming, look at where the next candle start forming from. It start forming from where the previous candle closed, which is what? From here, the down part, the opening, the closing. Now, when this particular candle are pointing on, this one that has this blue dot, after it finished forming at this point, which is the closing, the new one start what? Forming from here, which is the opening to what? To the closing. Now, moving forward, we have the second part of what? Components of the candle, which is what? The wick. The wick is what? A vertical line that cuts across what? The upper part and the lower part of what? The candle. Let's say we have something of this nature. This is what we call the wick. This thin line I drew on my screen. I'm coming, let me bold it so everybody will be able to see. Now, this green line that you see on my candle that pierced across the upside towards the downside is actually what? The wick. And the wick actually what? Is extended from the top to the bottom of what? The body of the candle. And what does this wick represent? The wick is just trying to tell us that price actually got to what? To this particular point before what? Before dropping to this point and closing at this point. This one too is telling us that what? Price actually came down to this point. After price started opening from this green part, price pushed down to this point, which is the lowest point, then pushed up towards this extent, which is the highest point, and closed at this other part. So the wick is just what? Trying to show the highest and the lowest points that price actually got to, and that is what? The wick of the candle. Quickly, let me show you the wick of the candle. You said? Okay. Please kindly mute your mic. Now, when we are talking about the wick, take a look at let me find a candle. Now let's take a look at this green candle. This particular one I have here. Look at this green candle. This one I'm pointing on before the red candle. You can see that, as I said, the green candle started forming from what? The down part, which is the opening, and closed at where? The upper part of the what? The body. This box here. When we are talking about the body, we just mean what? The rectangle box that is forming. Now it's closed at what? The top. But now you can see that we have a very long thin line up and what? And down. Now what does this represent? This actually represents that we have what? This particular candlestick price pushed as high as what? As high as 2067 before it dropped back to what? 2050, and the candle closed there before this red candle started forming. And now it started opening, it opened at what? 2039. Price went down as what? 2030. But price still pushed up to what? To 2067. Then it closed at what? 2050 before what? This new one starts forming. And that is for what? The bullish candle. The bullish candle is what? The green candle. Now we can call this upper part of the wick, we can call it the what? The high point. We can call this the high point. The high. And we can call the down part what? The low. As I have explained now. The low. The low. And that is how the bullish candle is formed. Let me tag everything. We can call this what? The bullish candle. Bullish candle. This is what? How the bullish candle is what? Is formed. It starts forming from where? The bottom. It closes at where? The top. And now we have the wick cutting across the highest points to the what? To the lowest point. Now quickly, let's move to what? The bearish candle. How does the bearish candle form? The bearish candle is different from what? The bullish candle. Why do I say it's different? Now the bullish candle, we know price is pushing up. We have an upward movement. We have price what? Is pumping. That is why the bullish candle start forming from what? The bottom towards to the top. And if we actually have the bullish movement continue, we just have something like this. Price pushing up, coming down a bit, and what's moving, right? Now for the bearish candle is actually different. This is how the bearish candle looks like. We have something of this nature, which is actually red. Yep, red, right? We have it in red. And now when we have it in red, remember when I started drawing the green candle, I said the green candle start opening from bottom, closes at what? The top. But for the bearish candle, which is what? When price is what? Falling down. It's different. The price started forming from where? From the top. The upper part is what? The opening. Opening. And the lower part is what? The closing. You can see that it's actually different from what? The green candle, which is the bullish candle. One start forming from the bottom to the top, and the other from what? Top to bottom. Now let me show you an example. You can see that this particular red candle that we have here, this particular red candle, this one that my blue ticker is on, you can see that after this green candle formed, this first green candle finished forming, it's closed here. The new green candle start forming from here, closed that way. This body part, which is the top. Now look at where the red candle started forming. Can you see that it was where the green candle stopped forming from that the new red candle start forming from? See where it start forming from. This point to what? To this point. The upper part of the rectangle is called the opening, and the down part is called what? Closing. If you should want to label this, how do we label it? We call this part what? The opening. This part of it, we call it what? The opening. And we call the down part where it closes, which is, hold on, we call the down part what? The closing. Here, this down part, we call it what? The closing. The closing. Now after we have the closing of this candle, look at the new candle that start forming, the next red candle here. The next red candle we actually have here, see where it started forming. This upper part is what? The opening, and the down part is what? The closing. Now look at this new candle that starts forming now. Can you see this candle that is forming now? This new one that is forming. You can see that it started forming from where? It started forming from where this candle actually stopped. See where it started forming from. It started forming from 1934. And it's actually what? It's opened as what? A bullish candle. Now, in that case, if this candle should continue moving down and what? Close below this one, that means it will close as what? A bearish candle. That means we'll have the upper part as the opening, the down part as what? The closing. But now if it should push up and we have it closing as what? A green candle, then the part it started forming from will be what? The opening, and the upper part will be what? The closing. And now we can't say we already have the high and low of what? That particular week, because price is still what? Is still moving. We can have price push up to what? To extend this line here this week above, or we can have it what? Push down. So the candle has not what? Has not closed yet. And that is how the bearish candle is formed. Are we still following? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
So
Sure.
moving forward, as I said, we have the wick, which is cutting across what? The upper part of the candle towards the lower part, something of this nature. Then we have this one in what? Red. This is how the wick is formed. The wick in both candles are actually the same. The up part is what? The highest points, and the down part is what? The lowest points, which is what? We have it like this. We call this what? High. We call this what? Low. And this is how what? The bearish candle forms. Bearish candle. This is what? The bearish candle. Now you can see the difference between what? The bullish candle and the bearish candle, and how they formed. Now quickly, let's run through our chart for the last time. Now look at this green candle that we have here. Let me zoom it so you can see it well. Look at this green candle that we have here. It starts forming from where? Down here, which is the opening. It's closed at what? This upper part, which is what? The closing. This week here, you can see this point that I'm pointing at, 1835. This point is the highest point price got to, but price closed at where? This point. Now see where the new one started forming from. The new one started forming from where? It started forming from here, which is what? The opening, and this is what? The closing. The new candle started forming from where? This place, which is the opening, and it's closed where? It's closed here. Now for this for the bearish candle, which is the red candle, it start forming from where? It start forming from the upper part, which is the opening. This upper part is the opening, and now close at this down part, closing. It's this this long red candle started forming from where? This particular point, which is what? The opening, and it's closed below here, which is the closing. Now, this particular next candle formed as what? A green candle, which means we will have an upward movement. A green candle. Now it's open from here, closed at the upper part. Now this one open from here, closed that way. The top, simple. And that is just everything that candlestick anatomy entails. So quickly, let's proceed without wasting much time. We would be talking about candlestick patterns next. And also, for those who have been following up, I actually started talking about candlestick patterns some sessions ago, but let's quickly have a brush through because of those who are not what, who are just joining. So quickly, I'll be wiping up everything I have here. Now we are entering candlestick patterns. Now, what are candlestick patterns? As we say, candlestick anatomy. Now we are moving to candlestick patterns. What are candlestick patterns? Candlestick patterns are just graphical words, representation of price movements, and they are formed mostly by the arrangement of individual candles. Remember what I said in candlestick anatomy, that is just graphical representation of price movements. Now, this candlestick patterns is just graphical representation of price movements, and they are arranged mostly by the arrangement of individual candles on a price chart. So each of these individual candles that I drew earlier on, or these particular candles you have here, they usually form in different patterns. As you can see, these particular candles are formed in different sizes, different shapes, different whatever. And these different shapes, different sizes actually have what they mean. They actually have what they are meaning. So quickly, let's move on. We have examples of examples of candlestick patterns. We have different type of candlestick patterns, but I'll just be picking two of them, and I'll be talking about two of them. Now we have examples of candlestick pattern. Candlestick patterns. Now we have different examples of candlestick patterns, but the first one I'll actually be talking about is the engulfing pattern. Engulfing patterns, and I'll be talking about the next one, which is the dodgy pattern. So let me quickly list them before we proceed. Okay, engulfing pattern, patterns, and dodgy patterns. So this is the two that we'll actually be talking about tonight to save us time. Now, what are engulfing patterns? When we are talking about engulfing in an English time, engulfing just means when something completely engulfs or covers a particular thing. Let's say we have a short man and a tall man, and they are standing close to each other, or they are facing each other. We can actually say the tall man is engulfing the short man, meaning the tall man is covering the short man. Because if the short man is actually staying behind the tall man, when someone is at the front of the tall man, it will be hard to see the short man behind him. So we can say the tall man is actually engulfing the short man. So engulfing patterns are just pattern that occurs when a particular candle completely engulfs the body of of another candle. Now, this engulfing pattern has two types of engulfing patterns. We have the bullish engulfing pattern and the bearish engulfing. Let me quickly type it out. We have the bullish engulfing, and bearish engulfing. Now, the bullish engulfing candle, when you hear bullish engulfing, what comes to your mind when we are talking about that something is bullish? It means we have gains, right? And upward movements in price. Now, when we say bullish engulfing, it should come to your mind that it's just what we have. Pardon me. It should come to your mind that it just means we have the bullish candle, which is the green candle actually, engulfing what? The red candle. I'm going to show it to you now. We have something of this nature, and we have a small, this should be red. This other one too should be red. Now, this is what we call bullish engulfing. You can actually see that the green candle is covering the red candle. It's engulfing the red candle. Now, when we have bullish engulfing, what does it mean, or what is it trying to say? Now, it's not necessary you see it as the same size as this or the same proportion as this. This is just a graphical illustration. But when you go to your charts, how do you see bullish engulfing? Now, look at this. Can you see this green candle? Can you see the body? We mostly use the body. Look at the body of this candle. Can you see the body? Can you see that it's more bigger than the body of this previous red candle? This is bullish engulfing. And now when you see bullish engulfing is actually found in a downtrend, and it implies that we'll have what? A potential reversal to the upside. Now you can see that at this point we are in a downtrend. Price is what? Falling down. Now see what happened. We now have a bullish engulfing at this point. After the bullish engulfing was formed, what did you see? Price actually pushed up. It served its purpose, and that is what we call bullish engulfing. Now, let me quickly show you one last example before I proceed to the next thing. Let me find something clear for you. Look at this point here. Can you see this candle, this green and this red candle? What is this? Bullish engulfing. This points to this green and this red, bullish engulfing. And after the bullish engulfing was formed, what happened? Can you see the upward movement in price? And that is what bullish engulfing stands for, and that is what it works as. When we see bullish engulfing in the market, we know that price is trying to have a possible reversal to the upside. Now we now have the bearish engulfing. When we talk about the bearish engulfing, what comes to your mind? We have what? The red candle bigger than what? The green candle. This is the red candle. Then we have the green candle. And this is what? This is bearish engulfing, whereby the red candle is covering what? The green candle. And when we see a bearish engulfing candle in the market, it's usually found in an uptrend. And when you see it in an uptrend, definitely you should know that there would be a possible decline in price. And when we talk about possible decline in price, meaning we will have our price moving down, right? So we'll have a possible reversal in price. Now let's take a look at this. Now at this point, what did you see here? Let me zoom my screen so you see it clearly. Now look at this. Look at these two candles, this red and this green. What can you notice? The bearish is engulfing the bullish. And after that, what did you notice? Didn't you see a possible decline in price? We have a decline in price. Now let's check another place. Look at these points again. These points, green and red, green and red. After we have that, what happened? We have a possible or a reversal in price, and that is what the the bearish engulfing candle works for. Now quickly, let's talk about what the doji. The doji has different patterns actually on its own, just as the engulfing patterns, but we are going to talk about just the doji itself. Just the what? The doji itself. Doji. And now when we are talking about the doji is just a candlestick pattern that has a small body that is just indicating the opening and closing prices are very what close. When we talk about the opening and closing prices, what do we mean? We just mean that we say the opening and closing prices are very close, meaning you have something like this, very thin, a thin bodied candle, and we have a wick. The body of a doji is usually very small. The opening and closing prices, and if it's actually a bullish candle, says this is the opening price, this is what the closing price. They are usually what very close, and this is what a doji. When we actually see a doji, it just indicates that what we have a tight battle between buyers and sellers. Both of them are what struggling, gambling. One person is what trying to power the other is trying to what power the other. And what does a doji mean when you see a doji? It's just what an indecision. Unlike the bullish and bearish engulfing. You know, when you see the bullish engulfing, let's take for example, you saw a bullish engulfing at this point, and it finished forming, you know that will have what a bullish movement in price, right? Same thing as the bearish engulfing. When you see it, you know that will have a decline in price. Now, for the doji, is different. When you see a doji, it just signify what indecision in price. Indecision it's in price. And what does it mean to be an indecision candle? It means you don't know where next price is going to move to. You just allow that candle to finish forming, and whatever happen, you follow suit. Now let's take for example, let me find one for you. I've been seeing a lot of it, but let me just go back and check through. Where are they? Where are they? Okay, look at one. This particular red candle. You can see this small red candle here. It's an indecision candle. A what? A doji. Look at this green candle I'm pointing at. This particular green one. You can see that the opening price and the closing price is actually small. We now have a long wick. This is the doji candle. But now, why did price move downward? Because we already have what? We already have a bearish engulfing candle here, and that is why price was sold down. But now, for this doji that you are seeing here, just an indecision candle, you don't know where price is going to next. So this is just what candlestick anatomy and candlestick patterns is all about. Mind you, we have different patterns. We have the hammer patterns, we have the dark crowds, we have the marubuzu, we have the hanging man, we have the tweezer top, we have the tweezer bottom. We have different candlestick patterns, but these are just the two that I would want to talk about today. So this is where I'm going to stop for today. I don't know if we have questions or anything that is bothering us actually about this particular session. So feel free to come up with your question, as I'll be here to answer them.
All right, thank you so much, Crypto Cover. Yeah, just like I've said, if you have any questions so far, and Barbie maybe, okay, we have someone who is about to ask a question. David, yeah, you can go ahead.
Hello, good evening to the crypto cabal himself. Hello, can you hear me?
I
Hello?
can hear
I
you.
can. Good evening, sir.
Yeah,
Good
I
evening.
was actually following, but this engulfing pattern, it got me distracted somewhere. I couldn't follow up again. I got distracted somewhere around, when you were trying to explain that engulfing. I tried wrapping my mind around it, but I lost out. Please, can you a little bit summarize about on it, please?
Okay, good. Now, when I was explaining that engulfing pattern, right? Are you following?
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay, now, I tried to use a tall man and a short man, and I was like, okay, let's take for example, you yourself, let's say you are a tall person, and we have a short person staying behind you. When there's someone very far staying in front of you, it will be very difficult for that person to see who's actually behind you because you are more taller. That is just the basic explanation of what's engulfing, meaning one is what bigger than the other. It's engulfing, more bigger, covering the other one. So now when we talk about the bullish engulfing, when we say we have a bullish scenario, it's actually what a bullish candle, right? It's actually a bullish candle. Let me share my screen back and you see the illustration. Good. You can see the bullish engulfing here. This particular candle, you can see the green candle powering or overshadowing what? The red candle. And this is what we call the bullish engulfing. Now for the bearish engulfing, you can see that the red candle covering the
Yeah,
green
excuse,
candle.
excuse me. My question is kind of does it have to start from the same? I mean, the opening and closing. That's the week and the from the low. Do they have to start from the same level for it to
They
be
don't need
engulfed?
they don't need to start from the same level. They
Okay.
don't need to start from the same level. They can start from what? Different levels. They don't need to start the same levels. But because all the ones you've been seeing here, you see them starting from the same levels, the open. No, they can form anyhow. Anyhow. In as much as it's engulfing. So that is it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Hello.
Yeah, Imex, I can hear you.
Yeah. Good evening to you, Crypto Cabal. I just
Evening,
have a
sir.
question. Yeah, my question is that what's the best time frame to use for technical analysis?
Okay, the best time frame to use for technical analysis. Let me explain to you. We have different time frames in the market, and all these time frames has what they actually preach. They have what they are interpreting. Now we have different types of traders. It depends on the type of trader you have, or depends the type of time frame you use for your analysis. Let's take for someone which is actually a swing trader. When we talk about a swing trader, it actually means someone that can take a position or hold a position for a very long time, can hold a position for weeks, months, yearly or so. That is what we call swing trader. So if you're actually a swing trader, you can actually analyze or do your analysis or your technical analysis on the 1 week time frame, the 1 day time frame, whatsoever. And you know that on the daily time frame, it takes every 24 hours before a candle is formed. On the 1 hourly time frame, each candles are formed 1 hour. So on the daily time frame, when you are a swing trader, you can be able to wait for a very long time for your trades to activate and play. But now, when you are a day trader, you don't these particular people hold trade for what? They can hold trade for overnight or few days, and that is why they are called day trader. Now they can carry out the analysis on the 4 hour time frame, 2 hour time frame, 1 hourly time frame. Now, when we talk about intraday traders or scalpers, these people are type of people that don't really hold trade for a very long time. They hold trade within 24 hours. So they can be able to do their technical analysis. Probably they start from the 4 hour time frame, then move to lower time frame like 30 minutes, 15 minutes, and the likes of them. And that is how it works. So depending on the type of trader you have, that will determine the type of time frames that you would stick to. Do you understand now?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you very much.
All right. That was such an interesting one and very, very educative, to be honest. Crypto Kaba, thank you for breaking it down in such a way that we can actually relate, even if it's the first time you are getting to learn this, you'll be able to grab one or two things. And if you have actually watched some of our videos on technical analysis, patterns, candlesticks, and different styles being used when it comes to analyzing a trade, or when you are checking out a project chart. Then this actually tells us or give us more information on how to go about it. So thank you so much, Crypto Cover. So before we wrap it up tonight, I would like to, ask and, confirm from everyone if we're good to go. Is anyone having any questions so far? And so that we will know before we wrap it up tonight. Don't worry, tonight's section is recorded, so we can always have a recap of it on our YouTube. And also, if you would like to know more about Bitcoin Ordinance, go to our YouTube page, check it out there. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification so that whenever we upload our videos, you get notified immediately. So not necessarily until we have it shared in the group. You can get notified immediately the video is live on our YouTube. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It's been a wonderful week and a new month with which we are happy to be in right now, and we are hoping for better and more positive things to come across our way. So yeah, let's stay energized, eat well, sleep well, and don't forget, no knowledge is a waste. So let us always try to even learn every day. Like we're always coming here, there will always be one or two things to learn about. So yeah, and don't forget to be CryptoSafu. Stay safe in the space. We've shared different information in the group on different things happening this week around crypto space. So just like the Core Finance Act. So Core Finance is a popular project on the crypto space that was was so unlucky to be hacked. Maybe I think it's the second or third time that the project will get attacked. So yeah, you can get to see the news on our Twitter page at Get CryptoSafu. We analyze and we try to describe how it all occurred. You can get to check the thread on our Twitter page. So yeah, that was it this week. And if you are checking out different projects out there, you have to be extremely careful because there is a lot of hungry projects, hungry developer out there. So please know that you have to do due diligence before you jump on any trade, on any project. And as well, if you are active participants looking for different means to make money on the crypto space, such like the airdrop activities, please stay safe. Don't fall victim of uh getting your wallet hacked or drained. So there's a lot of different means that people are out there trying to just take advantage of the space in a bad way. So like we are doing our own best to be CryptoSafu and to get CryptoSafu. So this is one of the things we keep emphasizing on. If we are into crypto, know how to stay safe first. And also if there are resources and platforms like CryptoSafu, try to stick with it so that you don't get yourself to be blamed in as much as you are trying to continue and journey on this crypto space. So yeah, thank you so much everyone. It is really an interesting topic that have been handled by Crypto Kaba tonight. Shout out to Emex, DD, Emily, I am G-Tech, David, and yeah, I think we have, okay. So shout out to everyone that have been able to join us tonight. We are going to be wrapping it up. I'm calling it a day for tonight. So Crypto Kaba, I don't know, before we end this call, do you have anything else for us?
Well, nothing really much, but the only thing I'll have to say is everybody should get prepared for wonderful things that we have ahead coming, and that is it.
All right, all right. So I think everyone is hearing that, and yeah, hopefully, we all get a lot of surprises coming in the next day. So don't forget, as we are following our schedule program, we have moved our Twitter space to be happening on Sunday. So on Sunday we are going to be having a Twitter space. So we are going to be sharing the Twitter space link for everyone to join. And also, we are going to be on Saturday, we are going to be having general discussion. If you join the last one, it is always interesting because we give room for to hear about people's suggestions, opinion, and contribution towards the community growth and how we are managing our programs and how we can be of help to each other. So, and tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, TGIF. So tomorrow we'll be having our class section plus giveaway. So if you are joining our class section tomorrow, it is going to be an interesting one whereby we are going to be having the question and answer, and whoever gets to answer the question correctly and the fastest person is going to be winning the giveaway, which is usually in USDT or BNB. So get ready. That is just to encourage us as we journey through the crypto space. And yeah, it is just like what the community is doing to support everyone in one or two or the other. I mean, in one way or the other. That's it is necessary. So yeah, I'm going to be wrapping it up. I don't know if we have any other announcements. Yeah, and I think someone was asking in the group yesterday that what about if it gets a signal about a project being an honeypot? Anything that has to do with honeypots, siphoning, and other means, please run away from such projects. And any project you get to see that it is not really having solid support or enough information that are tangible and legit enough, just run away from the project. There are a lot of good projects, but there are more bad projects out there. So yeah, I think at this junction we'll have to wrap it up. And let me see. Just follow us on all our social media platform. I will try to, get us the link tree to make it easier for us to know different channel we can all that is comfortable for us on social media where we can all get updated about what is happening on CryptoSafu. So we have more news coming up, but we are going to be sharing it to you very soon. But today we are going to be ending it here. So we have more interesting news, and in the coming days, we should be expecting a lot of new members joining us. So if you are here, just keep coming back and stay active, stay engaging, and because there are a lot of things to be unfold, which will be uh sharing with us later. We are just cooking all these things. So when it is ready, you all get to know how beautiful and interesting it is to be on CryptoSafu because the journey is a bright one. And like we used to say, every one of us is going to benefit greatly from this platform. So thank you so much once again. Thank you, Crypto Kaba, for taking us through a wonderful class session. So yeah, till we meet tomorrow again for our class section and giveaway. Be CryptoSafu and stay safe. Thank you so much, our CryptoSafu OGs. Good night.